welcome on in to another episode. Waiting for Terry. Oh, thanks, Tim. Welcome to another episode. Actually, this is the first. Well, it's still called Getting Wild with Terry and Friends. We're still going to call it Getting Wild with Terry and Friends.
Oh, we're not getting messed up with Terry and Friends?
No. Still Getting Wild with Terry and Friends, but it's MLB edition. We will have a different starting video for the baseball show as well. We have a different background. But basically, the MLB show, which is going to be every day at 3:30 p.m., is basically going to be like the hockey show. While hockey's still on, we're only going to break down between 4 to 6 games. It depends on who's on with me, what games they like, what games they want to talk about. We'll probably spend about 30 minutes, 40 minutes, go over the card, best bet segment, exactly like the NHL show. We'll have best bets, parlay pieces, dog of the day, and over under. We'll keep everything the same. Maybe over under. I'll let people do first halves.
Yep.
We'll see. We'll work that out.
First fives in full games. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. It's the first 5. Yeah, so we'll figure it out exactly what we'll do, but it'll basically be like the hockey show. Today's show is just basically saying hi and talking a little bit of baseball. So I figured we'll just go division by division. I'll bring up the first one here, the AL East. This is last year's standings. And then I'll quickly put each team's. So Baltimore, obviously 52 and 110. Their win total is 61.5. So the books might be expecting a little bit of
improvements. Yeah.
Toronto is 92.5. The Yankees are 91.5. So basically the same as last year. Boston is 85.5. So they are kind of expecting a drop off from Boston. And then Tampa Bay also 89.5.
They always sleep on Tampa Bay.
So, for me, welcome on Jesse in as well. For me in this one, or for this division, I think the Jays 91. Obviously, homer pick. I am a big Blue Jays fan. 92.5 wins. They had 91 last year. I think that's a good bet on over 92.5 wins at minus 120. And not much else from this division for me. Tim, what do you think about the AL East?
I think the AL East is definitely going to be one of the more interesting divisions because this one's going to be pretty similar to, I feel like, the NL East, where there's going to be 4 teams on top beating up each other the entire year. And for that reason, I could see 3 to 4 of these teams getting their team total unders. But the main team that I like for this division, I like the Red Sox. I think that they win. I have the Red Sox to win the division. I believe that's a plus 475 area. It's 600 now. No, I did not have the under. That one finished 29 to 8. 15 runs in the 8th inning. But yeah, that Red Sox line is now plus 600. I still like them to win the division. They had a really good season last year, and they only built up their offense even more. This team's going to be strong. They're going to have a good year. I like the team total unders with the Yankees. I'm not a fan of the Yankees this year. It's a bunch of DHs. They did not fix any of their pitching errors that they had last year. They still played well, but I don't like that Yankees team. I think Tampa Bay has a slight drop down from last year. I think Toronto will remain in the conversation. Honestly, I can see all 4 of these teams. I can see the Yankees finishing 4th, and then the Rays, Red Sox, and Blue Jays. If you put them 1, 2, 3, any of them, I wouldn't be surprised. But the big thing I like this one is I like the Red Sox to win the division. I like their win total over, and I like the Orioles team total over as well. For their wins, it's 62. I don't think they lose over 100 games this year. They do have a tough division, but I do think that they'll be able to win a chunk of games versus like the Yankees, because they always seem to have the Yankees numbers. So Orioles over and Red Sox over, and then Red Sox. I have a division ticket and I have a World Series ticket for the Red Sox.
All right. Nick, what do you think of the AL East?
Well, Terry talked about the Blue Jays. Tim talked about the Red Sox. It's my turn. I'm rocking the Mets jersey. Let me talk about the Yankees here. And I'm probably higher on the Yankees than most people. And I know this is not going to be a popular pick here, but I like the Yankees to win this division. I wrote down a bunch of futures that I would look to for this season, and a team that I wrote down a few times: the Yankees to win the division, the Yankees to win the pennant, and the Yankees to win the World Series at 10-1. This is a team that, if we look at it, yeah, they didn't add much, but they didn't really need to add much. They got Josh Donaldson, which I think is a nice little add for them there. Rizzo, Gallo, Judge, Stanton, Torres, LeMahieu, Higashioka at catcher, Aaron Hicks. That's a good lineup. I know it's a lot of DHs. I know it's a lot of DHs, Tim. You've mentioned that. But the only thing that this really concerns me is the strikeout numbers for this Yankees team. But when they do put the ball in play, this is a team that can score runs. A lot of Yankees team total overs is probably where I would look for this team this year. Their starting pitching is not the worst either. Garrett Cole, Luis Severino, Jordan Montgomery didn't look half bad last year. And Domingo Germán's going to make probably his return. He only pitched in 13 games last year. So I think that we should see a little bit of improvement here for the Yankees on their pitching staff as well. So I would look towards that. A couple other futures I had written down for this division is an MVP ticket, 15-1 on Aaron Judge. I think that he's someone who could put up 45 home runs and 100 RBIs with this team. I also like Wander Franco from the Tampa Bay Rays at 15-1 for an MVP ticket. And there's one more. Oh, Chris Sale and Alek Manoah and McClanahan. 14-1 for Sale, 15-1 for Manoah, 20-1 for McClanahan. Three pitchers I think potentially win the Cy Young in this division as well. So that's kind of where I'm looking at for this division.
Ooh, Manoah. I like it.
Yeah.
Jesse, welcome on in. What do you think of the AL East? Any thoughts?
At least it's a stacked division, of course. You got great teams with the Blue Jays, Yankees, Rays, and Red Sox, except for the Orioles. The Orioles I think they're gonna still be the Orioles and not do anything, be at the bottom of the barrel. But when it comes to the other four, it's very difficult to say who's gonna win. But I think my opinion it's kind of a toss up between not the Yankees, I'm sorry, but between the Blue Jays and the Red Sox. Red Sox, they've always had that depth, and they just also added Trevor Story to be their shortstop. Yeah, that 129 is very serious. Their the pitching, the bullpen, the rotation is not that bad. I know that Chris Sale was hurt for a little bit, but when he comes back, I think he's going to be all right.
Chris Sale returned last year. He's fine.
No, they say he's injured again.
Oh, he is? I did not see that.
Yeah, so he said he's injured for a little bit, but I think their rotation now should be all right to keep up. And yeah, I also like Blue Jays because they signed one of my favorite pitchers in Kevin Gausman. He's going to be a great pitcher for them. And also Kiyuchi's all right for me too, but I think I think it's just going to be a battle between both of those clubs. Yankees, I mean, they definitely can take it too, but I think there's a lot of DHs on that squad also. So we'll see.
All right. Nathan, AL East, any thoughts?
Yeah, I'll add some. Y'all covered it pretty much the same. I mean, we're looking to see the Rays were a 100-win team last year. One thing y'all didn't talk about is a little bit of regression with them. I could definitely see that. And then yeah, they already touched on it. Orioles definitely got better over the offseason. I don't think they're going to lose 100 games this year. I agree with Tim on that one. I like the Orioles win total over 62. It's going to be interesting to see how this division kind of shakes up. It was a pretty tough division last year. We had 3 90-win clubs and one cracked triple digits. So it's going to see who can basically stay healthy and keep pitching, because we all know all these teams can generate offense. It'll be interesting to see how this one shakes out. I could see the Red Sox running away with it. I could see the Yankees running away with it, but it's gonna be a close race in the AL East.
I think nobody's gonna run away with it. I think it's gonna be close.
It's gonna be decided in the last weekend.
Yeah, probably. I'll say the same.
All right, we'll move on to the second one here, the AL Central. The White Sox won the division last year. The Cleveland Guardians, they are no longer the Cleveland Indians. They're the Cleveland Guardians. Will be making their debut. I guess he called it a debut. Detroit, Kansas City, and then Minnesota in last there. I will say I am a Blue Jays fan, obviously, but I do cheer for the Twins as well. They shook up their lineup. They made some trades. They signed Carlos Correa. I think the Twins are going to be better this year. I think White Sox win this division. I don't think. I think we can probably all agree. I'm assuming we can all agree that the White Sox will win this division. Other than that, the other four teams, it's kind of we'll see. But I could see this division not being. I could see this division being close as well. What do you think, Tim?
Yeah, when it comes to betting futures, one of the things I won't do is lay minus money. So when it comes to the division winners, I obviously was not going to take the White Sox. Are the White Sox going to win it? Probably. But when it comes to betting, I want to take the value. And I'm taking a shot. And I'm taking the shot with the Royals. I think it's a little bit of they're a young, scrappy team. And I feel like it could be. I hope they keep pegging the Astros players. It's going to be a scrappy team that's going to moneyball it. They're going to get on base. They're going to pitch well. They're a young team that's only going to get better. I like their win total over. I took them. I've taken them a shot, 16-1 to win the division, just because I'm not laying minus 180 or something on the White Sox. I know a lot of people are high on the Tigers. They'll be good. Maybe a wild card spot. I still think they're a year or two out. Twins got a little bit better, but I still don't understand this team. I thought they were in a rebuild. I guess not. I don't know what's going on with them. And what was the other team in there that I didn't tag on? Guardians. They're going to suck. They're just not going to be good this year. They dumped a lot of players. They're going to dump more players. So I'm taking a shot. I think the Royals might have a shot, and obviously I think the White Sox will win it. But if I'm betting on value, it's the Royals for me.
All right. Well, let's go to Jesse next. So, what do you think of the AL Central?
AL Central, I would say exactly what I'm not trained. I'm getting this wrong. Who was that? Tim or Nick?
Tim.
It was Tim. Okay, yeah. I'm agreeing with Tim. I would expect White Sox to win it, just because they have a good bullpen, and I like their lineup a lot compared to other clubs like the Guardians and the Royals and the Tigers. But I would, if I wasn't taking the White Sox, I'd probably take the Royals also, and either the Royals or the Tigers. I started watching that baseball like probably a year ago, and I've always used to bet Royals just for some reason because they can play up the comp. So I think they could do that. And when it comes to the Guardians, yeah, they're not good at all. The only player that I like from that squad is probably Jose Ramirez, and hopefully he leaves. And Tigers, they definitely added acquisitions to the squad with Javi Baez. They got that good prospect that they added. I don't know how to say his name. It's like
Torkelson.
Yeah, Torkelson. And their bullpen is probably pretty all right. I know they got a good starter with Casey Mize and Screwball. So I would say this division, it could be a toss-up. I'm not just going to say that the White Sox are going to take it. So I'd probably go with the Royals too if it wasn't the White Sox.
All right. Can you guys see? Can you see my camera or no?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, you see my background?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, because on my screen it's black and it's just going around. So.
Yep.
No, you're good.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to interject one thing before Nick goes. I also have one more ticket in that division. Salvador Perez MVP at 66-1. Okay, go ahead.
What? Okay. You're just gonna drop that. You're gonna drop that bomb and move on. All right, cool. You guys will take the Royals, and I'll take the long shot on the Tigers here. This is a team that they made me money last year back in the Detroit Tigers in the first 5 innings, and I'm full planning on doing that once again this year. This is a Tigers team I really like. This is a underrated pitching staff as well, because they're going to have another year under their belt. Obviously, Casey Mize. Spoiler: I'm gonna have a ticket on him to win the Cy Young Award this year. They got Eduardo Rodriguez from the Red Sox. That was a nice addition. Tariq Skubal, Matt Manning, I think are going to take a step forward this year. This is a Tigers staff that I really like, and let me take a look at what my futures were on this one there. I like the Tigers at 550 to win the division, the 20-1 to win the pennant, and 40-1 as a long shot for the World Series. That was my long shot for the World Series this year, taking 40-1 with the Detroit Tigers. I think this is a huge step up for them here. I like Torkelson at plus 450 to win the AL Rookie of the Year. And another long shot is Candelario at 100-1 to win the MVP. If the Tigers have a big season, he's going to have a huge season. So I think that he's definitely someone to keep an eye out for. And Casey Mize at 50-1 to win the Cy Young Award. And then looking at season win totals for this division, I have two. Obviously, I like the Tigers over 78.5. And I took the Guardians under 76.5 for this one as well. I think the Guardians, other than the Oakland Athletics, they've been the cheapest team this entire offseason. And I think that's going to cost them. So this is a spot here. I love the Tigers in this division. I think there's value with them here.
All right. I will go on here to the next one. The AL West here. Nothing is coming up on my screen. Can you guys see it?
Yep. You can see it.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I guess switching my background really messed things up. So on my computer, but that's okay. This division, I'll be quick here. I think Texas is going to improve. Their season win total here is 74.5. So they're expecting 15 more wins this year. I think Oakland is going to fall off, obviously.
Absolutely.
I think Oakland finishes the bottom.
Yeah.
I think Texas. I think Angels might finish ahead of Texas. So I think it's going to go Oakland, Texas, Angels, Houston, Seattle. I think Seattle wins this division. I think Seattle makes the playoffs for the first time in
since 2001.
Yeah, they are the longest team in professional sports to have not made the playoffs. Is that correct?
I believe so. Yep.
Yeah,
sounds right.
Yes. Because I was thinking for the Leafs for some reason, but it's not to win the cup. It's the team to not make has not made.
It's
the
a
playoffs.
Baseball show. We can still throw a jab at the Leafs there. I love it.
But yeah, so I think Seattle is going to make the playoffs for the first time in forever. I think this is their year. I think the division is theirs for the taking. Tim, I know you have to go. What do you think of the AL West? And then briefly the NL.
Yeah, you kind of stole my thunder. I was going to say I have Seattle like every way, shape, and form. I have them to win the division. I have them to win the AL. I have them to win the World Series, and I have them over their win total. Oakland sold their entire team minus Laureano, Manea, Montas, and Manea.
That's why the Jays have Chapman, because Oakland
sold everything.
traded everybody.
They got rid of Olsen as well. So the
I like Seattle to win the division. I like Houston under their win total. I like Oakland to be the worst team in baseball. They spent $0 in the offseason.
Yep.
I think the Angels are overrated, and I think that Rangers are going to be. It's going to be another under year. They picked up 2 bats and 1 arm, and I don't think it's enough. I still think the Rangers are going to suck. I would take them under their 74.5. I don't think they're going to be good this year. They're in a rebuild or accelerated rebuild, whatever they want to do. They're not going to be good this year. I think they spent $500 million on 3 players, and it's not going to be worth it. I'm not high on this Texas team. Seattle wins the division. Houston will come in second. Angels will come in third, but they'll be under 500, so it won't matter. It'll be a 2-team race the entire year. For the National League, real quick, because I know I have to go get Christina. I would take the homer pick in the Mets for the East, but I'm not going to go homer mode. If I'm going to bet anything in the East, it's going to be the Marlins, 14-1. I know Nick loves that as well, but I feel like that could be a good spot for them to just try to. I think they're going to have a good year. Other than that, obviously I have a bet on my Mets to win the World Series. I have an idea I have a bet on the Phillies to win the NL at 18-1. I think that could be an interesting spot where they get a wild card and go from there. I think the Nationals are going to suck. Mets are going to be good. Braves are going to be a little bit of, obviously, regression. They're not going to win the World Series again this year. But I think they're going to be a third place team maybe. But it's going to be the top 4 teams: Braves, Mets, Padres, Phillies, and Marlins beating up on the Nationals and beating up on each other the entire year. I think it's going to be a close battle there. For the Central, it's kind of a 2-man race between Milwaukee and St. Louis. I'm not going to bet a division. If I'm going to bet the division, it's going to be St. Louis. I have a ticket for the Brewers to win the National League at 9-1 and a Brewers ticket to win the World Series at 18-1. The rest of this division is going to suck. I mean, the St. Louis will be decent, maybe get a wild card, because I can honestly see both Milwaukee and St. Louis making the playoffs just because they get to play Cincinnati, Chicago, and Pittsburgh 19 times each this year. So I feel like that's going to be a spot where they can definitely make up some ground. But that's a 2-man race there. In the National League West, I think my favorite play is the San Diego Padres team win total under. I think they're going to be sellers at the deadline. I do not think they're going to be good this year. I'm not high on them at all. I think Arizona can go over their team total. I don't believe that they're going to lose 100 games. Dodgers to win the division's like minus 200. There's no way in hell I'm doing that. It would be a lean towards San Fran to go back-to-back, but that's only because they're plus 500, and why not? I can only see the Dodgers and the Giants being competitive in the West. But I don't see any team from the West making the World Series or anything. The Dodgers are going to make the playoffs. It's just where are they going to choke in the playoffs this year? They will choke. It's bound to happen. But my teams that I'm going to be high on all year: Mets, Brewers, Red Sox, Mariners, especially the Mariners. I'm going to be really, really high on them this year.
All right. Thanks for coming, Tim. Tim will appear on the baseball show whenever he can, and we'll see you later.
Sounds good. Thank you for having me.
No problem. Well, there's a lot of detail there. A quick run through by Tim. Nathan, I know you'll want to say something here quickly about the AL West here before we move on.
It was only Tim that went over the West, so.
Oh, okay. Nick, go. What do you think?
Well, did Nathan go over the Central?
I didn't get to go over the Central. My router absolutely decided to throw me on my face. Yeah, the Central. I mean, it was the White Sox last year. I think it's going to be the White Sox this year. Do I think they win as many games? I don't know. I think it's going to be a lot closer. It's going to be between the White Sox, and I think the Twins made just enough acquisition, or the Guardians, depending on who plays better consistently. But I think the Tigers and the Royals are still rebuilding, so give me the White Sox as the favorite to win that one. It's really all I have. I haven't really done as much digging as y'all have in the MLB. But who else done the AL West?
Just Tim.
Yeah,
Tim. I'll let y'all go. I'll put my piece in later.
I will be honest, everybody. I have not gone deep into detail with like Nick and Tim where it comes to like the futures, but I wanted to do a show on it to get baseball going and obviously get your guys' opinions.
Got you.
Jesse, why don't you go next? What do you think about the AL West?
AL West, I'm gonna also agreeing with Tim. I expect the Seattle Mariners to actually win the division this year, just because they added some great pieces. I think they had the number 1 prospect, Julio Rodriguez. He's playing very well in spring training right now. They added Jesse Winker, and they added also Robbie Wade to the lineup too. So I think that's a great team that they have, and what they're just building on top of what they already had with Mitch Haniger, J.P. Crawford, Ty France. Like I can name everybody. They have I think they have a really good 1 through 9 as in at bats, and defense is pretty good as also. I feel like they were supposed to make the playoffs last year, but they kind of folded at the end, like barely folded. But I think this year they make the playoffs and also take the AL West. it's probably going to be a fight between, I say, the Astros and Seattle. Even though the Astros are regressing in a little bit with losing Correa, I still expect them to be the Houston Astros and win a lot of games. With Oakland, I expect Oakland to be at the bottom of the barrel. They didn't do nothing, and they basically sold their whole team. So Angels, I would say Angels would be in that third spot. Um, they got Mike Trout back finally, so Mike Trout, I would say he's gonna have a great year. Otani is Otani, and Otani's gonna be in that lineup now this year, even though he can pitch. So that's gonna be a good spot for him too. And Rangers, yeah, Rangers spent so much money on three players, but I don't think that's gonna improve them that much. But it's gonna be nice to watch him at least. I like Marcus Semien and Corey Seager, so it's a
Yeah,
nice
I
addition.
miss Simeon already.
Yeah.
He was great on the Jays last year. But
Yeah, he was so like quiet. Like I just remember kind of betting on him for his homers, and he had like what he was like second in homers or third or
Something like that. He quietly almost put together an MVP season.
Yeah, exactly. So he's definitely gonna be good in that division. So
all right, Nick.
Yeah, I'm on the same page as Tim there. I like the Mariners. I have the Mariners over 83.5 wins. I have the Mariners at plus 450 to win the division. I would take a stab at them plus 1,500 to win the pennant. You could take a stab at them 25 to 1 to win the World Series too. This is a team that I really do like. Also in this division, the only other thing I really have is a shot with Marcus Semien at 40 to 1 maybe to win the MVP, because he's going to be kind of like the main guy there, him and Corey Seager with the Rangers. Those two are going to – so I think that he can quietly put together a good enough season to maybe make it worth it at 40 to 1 to win the MVP at Semien for Semien. He almost did it last year. So I kind of don't mind him as well. And the Athletics under. That's definitely something I would look at. I think that number's a little low now. And you never know. The Oakland Athletics can moneyball this and find a way to win 85 games and prove us all wrong. But I'm not going to rely on that, because they basically sold their whole team. And could they do it? I mean, we've seen them do it before with absolutely no budget. So I'm not going to count them out of doing that. But for me, this is a Mariners spot here. I can see the Astros still winning this division, though. They're the favorites for a reason. They are a very good team. They're getting Justin Verlander back this year. It's going to be interesting to see how he recovered off of Tommy John. So a few interesting spots in this division. I mainly like the Mariners, though, here.
All right, Nathan.
Yeah, we've pretty much talked the AL West to death now. I like it. As a guy from AL West, I was in high school when the Rangers went to back-to-back World Series. Yeah, right now we're in a rebuild. We don't have any pitching. It's going to be interesting to see. We were in a total rebuild. We were one of the worst teams in baseball last year. Only won 60 games. Second worst team in the AL. It's going to be interesting to see what bringing 3 stars is going to do to elevate that lineup. I actually think they get more wins than people expect, but I'm also going to be looking for overs here on that note, just because we don't have starting pitching. I know we got John Gray from the Rockies. He's going to be our opening day guy, but he's not too much of an ace. I know he's 30 now, so hopefully he's matured a little bit and can keep the ball inside the park, but it'll be interesting to see what they do. We always seem to – when we were going and playing well and competing in the AL West, we always seemed to find guys that just needed a change of scenery. They'd go out and win 10, 15 games for us. So it's going to be interesting to see how we do it this year. But I think the Rangers win more games than people give them credit for. I think the fire sale, like y'all said, the fire sale the Athletics had in this offseason is gonna put them behind the 8 ball this year. I think they're going to end up being the worst team in the AL West. Even though they will moneyball it and win more games than you think, but I don't think they're going to clear 80. Mariners could be sneaky good if they could figure out the pitching, and then I don't remember if it was Tim or Nick that said it, but I think the Angels are always going to be frauds. We've seen them walk the walk, talk the talk, act like they're the LA Dodgers, and then just you see all the articles right after the All-Star break when it gets into the thick of it, and they're just like, what are they doing with all this money? And they're not even competing. They're like third or fourth in the AL West.
Yeah, I meant to. I meant to say that during my breakdown. I was going to say that watching the Angels is like watching the Edmonton Oilers right now. 2 generational talents and nothing around them to do anything with.
Yeah, the only difference is in baseball, the length of the schedule just absolutely rides those guys into the ground. Like we saw it last year at the end of the year, Ohtani's starting to get arm soreness and shoulder soreness. So it'll be interesting. Hopefully the Astros regress. I still being the other team in Texas, they're Houston fans. Sorry if there's any Houston fans out here, but God, they're just so annoying. They're another Verlander injury away from being in the thick of it and making the AL West wide open. So it'll be interesting this year in the AL West.
Yeah, for sure. Most people hate the Astros, so
I had World Series tickets on them last year, so I didn't hate them.
Well, the whole cheat. I'm talking about like hate them as a team.
I know.
They're the most,
and they're just annoying the way they did it. They were the worst team in baseball. Not even like 2 or 3 years on the rebuild, like 8 years, and then all of a sudden they cheat their way to a World Series, and they're just like, "Oh, we're the best organization in baseball." And I'm like, I don't think you understand how many perfect game watches we had.
So Rasim asks, who wins the World Series? Well, Nick and Tim.
I have 5 teams. I have 5 teams written down: Mets, Yankees, Cardinals, Mariners, Tigers.
There's no okay. We're gonna fall a little bit behind here. We'll breeze through the next 3 divisions, but there is no way the Detroit Tigers win the World Series before the Blue Jays.
It's just a value play. It's just a long shot. That was sense. My long shot.
The Blue Jays are way better than.
I understand the Tigers are not winning the World Series. That's just a long shot I took.
Okay, that makes sense. Who do I think wins the World Series? I don't think it's Atlanta. I'll say that.
No,
Atlanta's not going to repeat. I'll look. Could the Dodgers win it? Possibly.
Yeah, possibly.
I don't see
that's the easy answer, though.
Yeah. I don't see Seattle hasn't made the playoffs in 20, 30 years, so I don't see Seattle winning at all.
Let's go around real quick. 1 NL team, 1 AL team. Your favorite 2 to go for it.
Sure.
The Mets and the Yankees.
Oh man, I'm sorry. I can't. I honestly don't have 2 teams I could just say, but NL, I'm probably gonna say, and I'm just gonna say the Mets just because the rotation, and then
they have improved a lot. Yeah,
and then AL,
they have the best rotation in baseball. We'll get to them in a minute there.
And then I'm just gonna say AL. I'm gonna go with the Mariners. I like them a lot, actually. So
I'm going to go with the Blue Jays. Come on. It's not just a homer pick. The Jays are going to should I say? Yes. My prediction is the Jays have the best offense in the league next year. We'll see.
Tim said Mets versus Red Sox. Rematch of 86.
I don't want the Red Sox doing anything. I hate the Red Sox. I hate the Red Sox more than the Yankees.
Whoa!
I hate the Red Sox.
I wouldn't go that far for me personally.
Well, yeah, you're a Mets fan, so that makes sense. But Nathan, what about your 2 picks?
Oh man, that's going to be interesting. I'm actually going to take the Padres out of the NL West. Padres and Mets are my 2 big NL teams. I think everyone's looking at the Dodgers, and the Padres are just going to grind away at it after they get all that talent actually winning games for them. Those are my 2 NL teams. AL, ooh man, that's tough, especially with that AL East. Oh man, freaking AL East. Oh my goodness.
I think someone from the AL East wins it.
If it's going to
be someone from the AL, it's going to be someone from the East.
I think the AL East beats up on each other a little bit too, but mine was the Yankees. So.
Yeah, I was about to say, because I mean AL Central and West, who you got? I guess the Astros. That just sounds disgusting coming out of my mouth. But yeah. Oh man, I'm gonna say Yankees or Red Sox are the AL East.
Boo.
Sorry, Terry.
That's okay. It's okay.
They still got another year, probably the Blue Jays.
We'll see what happens.
We'll see how they perform in in one-run games before. I know they have the offensive power, so let's see if they have the pitching concentration. I do like the Jays though.
Unfortunately, that couldn't happen. The Jays will now never. They can face in the playoffs, but unfortunately, they won't be able to. Red Sox, yeah, Tim, you're banned. You're banned from the show. We'll never see Tim again. Okay. Jays and Mets. That would be pretty.
That would be a fun show that week.
Yeah, I don't know if me, Tim, and Nick.
We almost had that in 2015.
Our friendship. Padres sellers at the deadline. Jeff coming in. He's a Cubs fan. Go Cubs, go! I think you guys are in.
You're not going to like our central breakdown then.
And we'll get right into that. We'll jump right into the AL East.
NL East
on the road. Or sorry, NL East. We'll bring that up here. I was looking at the Blue Jays standings in there. NL East, I think Atlanta is going to take a step back, as we said. Philadelphia, I don't know, not much of opinion. The Mets will improve, I think that. Miami, I don't really know what to think about Miami. They looked really good at points last year, but then they turn into Miami. And then Washington is, who did they sign?
Nelson Cruz.
Yeah, Nelson Cruz, 42, 43 or 44, or however old he is.
He ages like fine wine, though, for whatever reason.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but he's not going to be able to carry this Washington team.
Yeah,
no. Juan Soto and Nelson Cruz? No.
That's pretty much it.
Who wants to go first? Nick?
Yeah. I know this is going to come as a big surprise. Give me the New York Mets out of this division. Plus, what was it? Actually, I have the Marlins at 15-1 written down as a long shot for this division. This is a Mets team I really like, though, and I like the Marlins a lot. I have the Mets over 90.5. I have the Marlins over 76.5. The Marlins are going to be one of those teams where they're going to make you money this year.
76.5.
Yes.
What's their win total? Oh.
Yep. I think they're a team that's going to finish 81-81. And as an underdog in 85% of their games, this is going to be a team that is going to make you money in the long term. Over the whole season, I think if we look at the end of it and you bet their money line every single game, Miami is going to make you money at the end of it. Some other stuff I have from this division. MVP, Bryce Harper at 750. I think the Phillies can still miss the playoffs, and he can be in the discussion because he's going to put out 40 home runs. Francisco Lindor, I don't hate him. I think he can have a huge year. For a little bit of a rookie of the year stab, we saw him pitch a little bit last year, I want to say, or no, during the shortened season. I kind of like Sixto Sanchez at 10-1 to win the NL Rookie of the Year. He was one of those guys where I really liked him. And I think this is going to be he's going to be one of those reasons why the Miami Marlins can have a nice sneaky year, because I like their starting rotation. Sandy Alcantara at 18 or 20-1 to win the Cy Young is something I also like. Like, if you look at their rotation, Sandy Alcantara, Trevor Rogers, Pablo Lopez, Jesus Luzardo, Edward Cabrera, Sixto Sanchez. Like, this is a team that has a very nice rotation. So this is a sneaky team that we have with this Marlins squad. So I like the Marlins a little bit here as well when it comes to it. And I actually got a piece out here in a couple minutes. So quickly with the Central and the West for me. In the Central, I like the Cardinals. I'll take the Cardinals there at plus 225. Give one last little hurrah with Molina, Wainwright, and Pujols all retiring at the end of the year. I kind of rode that narrative here as well, because 225 to win the division, 12-1 to win the pennant, 20-1 to win the World Series. I had a ticket on the Cardinals to win the World Series last year, and I got that at 50-1 midway through the season when they were like 4 games under 500, and they made that massive run to make a wild card spot at the end of the year. I like them over 85.5 wins as well. For Cy Young Award, here's my long shot right here. 55-1 in his final season in the MLB. Adam Wainwright. 55-1 to win the Cy Young Award. And then an extreme long shot here. This is for a team that I don't particularly like, though. Last thing on this division. Frank Schwendell at 71 for the Cubs to win the MVP. He had a crazy end to the last season, and I think he can put up decent numbers this year on a really bad team.
Who?
Frank Schwendell.
Nah, he was a great pickup from
he was awesome in the second half of the season last year.
Yeah,
and then the West is one I've really got nothing with. I've got by the way, with the Central, two more things: under for Cubs, under for Reds. For the West here, I've really got nothing. I think the only thing I've written down involving this division is a shot with 35-1 for Chris Bryant to win the MVP with Colorado, only because he's playing in that Colorado air, and I think he can hit another 5 or 10 extra home runs compared to what he usually does, and his stats are going to look very nice and pretty when it comes to looking at MVP. So at 35-1, Chris Bryant could be worth a stab to win the MVP in that one. But other than that, I really don't like anything for this division. The Dodgers should win this division. The Dodgers are a team I'm probably going to have plenty of run lines with this year. Other than that, that's about it for that division.
What do you think about San Francisco?
I think they're going to take a step back. Obviously, they're not winning 107 games this year. I'd probably look for their season win total under. I don't think that they're going to go that crazy this year compared to what they did last year.
All right. Perfect. Thanks for coming, Nick. We'll see you later.
See ya.
And we're down to 3. All right. Jesse, what do you think about the NL East?
NL East, I'm definitely probably going to go with Mets as my number 1 just because of that rotation, like I said. And their 1-9 is pretty great. It's crazy. DeGrom, one of the greatest pitcher in the world right now. And you have Scherzer, arguably the second best pitcher in the world right now. And also they just got Chris Bassett, which was the ace from the A's. And he was pretty good last year. So those 3 can just keep you in a game, and they're going like 6-7 innings a game. So that's a great lineup to have. And also, who did they add? They added Eduardo Escobar. So their defense is still can be really good, and their offense is pretty good too. But I don't see Atlanta. Atlanta are still going to be good because they're getting some pieces back, but losing Freddie Freeman is going to hurt them. But I still think they should be in that second or third spot. And Phillies, I say they're going to be. I would say they're going to be the second team to NL East. They have a great offense now with adding Kyle Schwarber and also Nick Castellanos. Their pitching is not as good, but I think that offense can really get you some runs in. So Bryce Harper, Castellanos, Hoskins, and Kyle Schwarber. That's heavy hitters right there. Miami, I expect Miami to be better this year. I'm watching them in spring training, and they're doing pretty all right. And like Tim and Nick said, that the bullpen that they have is improved, and they can be a good dog this year. That's what I'll say. And Washington, I'm actually from Virginia, DC, whatever, and they're gonna be dog shit. They not sold everybody, but they really only have Soto and Nelson Cruz to bank on, and they gave away Scherzer, the best pitcher, and we're not that good at all. So I'm going to that opening day game against the Mets and the Washington, and I expect the Mets just to go.
I don't like that they traded Trey Turner.
Oh yeah, and I forgot about that. They traded.
Yeah, that's not a player that you just.
Yeah, that's a franchise keep, and I don't know why. I forgot why they did that, but
they must be looking for a long rebuild. So
yeah,
it's going to be a long time for Washington.
I feel bad for Soto, but at the same time, he got that big contract, so there's nothing to feel bad for him.
The money will keep him warm.
Yeah, exactly.
Nathan, what do you think here at NL East?
Yeah, I think the NL East is going to be one of the sneakiest, tough. I think it's going to be one of the sneaky tough division in the NL. Sorry, I know y'all hit on, and we don't have too many high expectations for Washington. But outside of that, with Miami getting better, and that Mets rotation getting healthier, I mean, although we all agree it's going to be a tough road for Atlanta to go back to back, but still, we're looking at Atlanta, Philly, the Mets, and then a Marlins team that should win about 80 games, as Nick said earlier. This is going to be a pretty tough division. The only free lunch you're going to get is Washington while they're rebuilding. I mean, it's going to be interesting. I think any of the top three teams up there, Atlanta, Philly, and New York, can do some damage and win this division. But it's pretty stacked. And if Miami plays hard, it's going to make this probably one of the hardest divisions in the NL East. I like it. Predicting who's going to win it, that's going to be a tough one. I think this is going to be the toughest one to call.
For sure. I want to see Philly's bullpen. Last year, you could make a lot of money with Philly's bullpen, betting the opposite team. Sometimes Philly would have the lead too. And you could get the opposite team at a nice plus money, and then boom, Philly's bullpen comes in, and the other team scores 5-6 runs, and you're looking at a nice win and thinking, how did this happen? But the Phillies bullpen, I'm sure they've probably improved it, you would think, but it was pretty bad last year.
Mm-hmm.
We'll jump into the next division. We got two more left here. This one's a tough one, the Central for me. Milwaukee, they were very good. They were good last year. I think St. Louis is going to improve a bit. I think Cincinnati, Cubs, Pittsburgh, they're all going to be bad teams. So, like Nick was saying, well, Milwaukee and St. Louis should be able to beat up on the other three teams here. Pittsburgh Pirates, they've always been bad since I watched baseball. Since I started watching baseball, they've always been the worst team. So I don't see anything changing there. I don't see any team in this division really going anywhere. But I'll probably be betting on the Cardinals. Probably a lot. Jesse, what do you think NL Central here?
NL Central, it's just a two-headed race always with Milwaukee and Cardinals. I would say that the Cardinals would take the division just because, like Nick said, Molina, Wainwright, and Pujols, they're all about to retire this year. And like I said, I started watching baseball last year, and I always used to just bet on the Cardinals because I remember they went on that 18-game win streak at the end of the year to make playoffs, which was very impressive. I had one of my favorite players on that squad, Nolan Arenado, a great third baseman, probably the best third baseman in the game. They have good offense. They definitely have good offense and good defense all around. Bullpen, it's pretty all right with Wainwright, and I forgot their other pitchers, but it's a pretty good bullpen. And with the Brewers bullpen is always good, but I think they lost. I don't know who they lost, but I think it's kind of like the same team that they had last year. So I'll expect them to probably be either in that 1 or 2 spot. Cincinnati, they kind of sold their squad. They don't really have anybody like they used to no more. Gave away Winker, gave away a couple, I think, pitchers too. I expect the Cubs and the Pirates to be better than they were last year. The Cubs got that, I think, Japanese guy, Suzuki, actually hit a homer today. And they have a good lineup, I think, to me. Like, they're not going to be just easy to beat, but same with the Pirates also. I think these are two clubs that are still kind of rebuilding, but they're going to be better than they were last year. So, and I would expect them. I would expect one of them to be either in that 3rd or 4th spot. I think Cincinnati will be at the bottom. So yeah, that's my guess for the Central.
All right. Yeah, one pitcher that I like to back for St. Louis is Jack Flaherty. I'm pretty sure he was injured for most of last year.
Mm-hmm.
He played a little bit, but he's a pitcher that I like to back.
Yeah,
when he's on the mound. Nathan, what do you think here about the NL Central? Are you there, Nathan?
Yeah, sorry. My bad. I was stuck on mute. Yeah, this is one of the divisions that kind of slid under the radar this offseason. I mean, you didn't really see many big moves. I mean, The Brewers lost Eversale Garcia, Jackie Bradley in a trade. They got Hunter Renfroe, so they'll be about the same. I mean, the Cardinals lost Jay Hab and Andrew Miller retired. They're kind of going to be. I think the Cardinals are just going to be on a glory day show. They just signed Albert Pujols, playing baseball. I think they're just going to let him ride off into his glory days. Same with Wainwright, I believe. I think the Reds regress a little bit this year. But I definitely think the Brewers take everything away. Like I said earlier, they didn't make any big splashes, so this is kind of like a snooze fest for me. The Pittsburgh Pirates are doing what the Nationals are doing and just rebuilding. So, I mean, other than the St. Louis, Cincy, Chicago kind of battle, I think they all get around like 80 wins. And I think, like I said earlier, I think Milwaukee just has the young talent and runs away with it and keeps like a 6-7 game lead about halfway through and just rides that out.
Yeah, the Pittsburgh Pirates are like the Buffalo Sabres. They rebuild forever and never actually make the playoffs. Right? We'll see what happens. I know I'm talking a lot of shit here about the Pirates, but hey, prove me wrong. Prove me wrong.
Yeah, I think they do a little bit better. I think they get more than 61 wins. I think they get closer to 70 than 60 this year, but still, I mean, that means you're losing close to 100 baseball games this year, which is rough for a fan base.
Exactly. We'll move on here to the final division, and we'll finish the show here shortly. This one, San Francisco is going to take a step back.
Yeah.
They lost Chris Bryant, right? Yes.
Yeah, and Kevin Gausman.
Gausman went to Toronto. Yeah. I'm not sure who else they lost, but San Francisco should take a step back. The Dodgers, well, they're the Dodgers. They went out and signed. I'm blanking on the name.
Freddie?
Yeah, Freddie Freeman.
Yeah.
Or did they trade for him?
They signed him in free agency.
They signed him in free agency. So that's a big addition to the team. They did lose a couple pieces as well, but this Dodgers team is stacked.
Yeah.
Colorado, they're going to hit, but you're not going to get much pitching there.
Yeah.
Arizona, they were really bad last year. Make a lot of money betting against Arizona.
Yeah, sure.
I'm assuming that they're still bad this. Well, they're still going to be bad this year, but they should be better than 52 and 110. But I guess we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
And then San Diego, they're kind of a mystery. Like, were they just a 1-year wonder, or what? I don't know, but they have never really been a very good team either.
Yeah.
For the most part, and except for that 1 year. And then last year they were looking good, and then they just fell off a cliff. So
they plummeted.
This division, I'm not sure. Nathan, what do you think here in the NL West?
Yeah, I mean, San Francisco did have a rough year. I don't see them winning 107 games. They lost Alex Dickerson to free agency, but they got Jock Peterson from the Dodgers, and they bolstered up their pitching a little bit with Carlos Rodon and Alex Cobb. I think San Francisco wins a couple more games than people are giving them credit for. Yeah. Do they do 90? That's the question. The Padres have a new manager this year. They got Bob Melvin over the offseason, so it's gonna be interesting to see how he steers the ship. I definitely think they win close to 10 more games than they won last year. I mean, the Dodgers are the Dodgers. We all know their expectations. They're shelling it out. They're shelling it out and playing. They should be back in it. It's one of the top 4 teams in baseball. I think the Dodgers win this division, but I do think the Padres can give them a run for their money. The Rockies, poor Rockies. I think the poor Rockies and the Diamondbacks are they're rebuilding. I mean, Diamondbacks, I haven't seen them make a big splash in free agency since they had Greinke go over there. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. We've talked this one pretty well. I think this is going to be a pretty top heavy division with seeing who the middle team out is, but it's going to be a battle between Padres, Dodgers, and San Francisco.
All right. Jesse, what do you think about this division?
I also think it's going to be like a two-headed race, like other divisions. San Francisco definitely lost Buster Posey and Kevin Cosman, which would hurt them. But they also, like Nathan said, they got Carlos Rodon, a pretty good pitcher. I think their starting rotation is still pretty good. Um, the roster really didn't change except for I say Chris Bryant and Posey, but I still think they're not going to win 107 games, but I still think they can give Dodgers a run for their money. But I don't think they're winning the division. I have to go with the Dodgers. Dodgers are the Dodgers. Yeah, one of the best four teams in baseball. With and they added Freddie Freeman. It's kind of interesting to see what they do with that first base position. I guess Freddie will be there, but Max Muncy will be in the DH spot. But it's a great lineup. San Diego, I expect them to be better than what they did last year, even though Tatis is not going to be starting at the beginning of the season. But they should be better than what they were last year, and they got a new manager, so that should be an improving squad. And I also like that acquisition of Luke Voigt from the Yankees. He's going to be good in that DH spot, trying to generate some offense for them. So I would say I got the Dodgers winning that division. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Rockies and Arizona. Rockies, I would say they're going to be in that fourth spot, and then Arizona, I'm probably going to take their under on team totals because they're not good at all. So.
All right. That is a season preview show. We went over all 6 divisions here. So Getting Wild with Terry and Friends Baseball Edition will be every day at 3:30 p.m. Eastern, Monday to Saturday. No Sundays still. There are obviously a lot of day games. There's also a lot of games that do start at 1. So what I'm going to try to do, if there is people on the baseball show that like a 1 p.m. game, I'll do some free pick videos the night before, and we'll hammer out any early games that people like. If anybody's watching that wants to come on, I'm definitely looking for some people for the baseball show. So if anybody has any interest, it'll go exactly like the hockey show, basically, except we'll break through 4 to 6 games depending on the day until hockey's done. Then we'll go through the whole slate, and then there'll be best bets, parlay pieces, over under, dog of the day. We'll have all that as well for the baseball show. So that is it. Jesse, Nathan, either of you want to say anything before we go?
Not really, but this is probably gonna be a fun season. Probably my second year capping baseball, so I'm gonna get some things right. I'm not gonna get some things right, but it's gonna be a lovely season this year. So looking forward to it. So that's pretty much it.
Awesome, Nathan.
Yeah, as Jesse said, can't wait to get at it and hopefully get a good model put together so we can all cash on trends we're seeing.
Yeah, for sure.
Sounds good. Best of luck to everybody. If you're new, hit the subscribe button, smash like button on your way out, and we'll see you on April 6th, I believe is the date. April
Yes, sir.
April 6th or 7th. We'll see you on the opening day of baseball. Have a good one, guys.
You too, man.